Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Mic Check. Oh my goodness, I am so happy you're here today. Whether this is your first time listening or you have been here since day one, welcome. Pull up a seat, get comfortable, because today's episode is one that is really close to my heart. And I think it's going to hit home for a lot of you. I mean it when I say I'm grateful for every single one of you who shows up to listen. You give this little podcast so much meaning. So, really, thank you. Now, let's get into it. So, I have to tell you about last week. Last week, something happened that I've been wanting to happen for a long time. I went to Caribbean for the very first time, a whole week, just me and few of my best friends. And I know I already know what some of you are thinking because I thought it too for years. You're a parent, you don't just leave for a whole week. That's not something you do. Who does that? Well, me. Last week, I did that. And let me tell you, that trip had been living in my 1 day folder for so long, I almost stopped believing it was actually going to happen. I would talk about it, I would almost plan it, and then life would do what life does, and somewhere it would end up right back in the folder. One day, soon, when things get settled, when timing is better. And one day I just looked at that folder and thought, you know what? One day is not a day of the week. And I booked that flight. I came home with memories I cannot put a price on. I came home feeling different, and I came home with something one of my best friends said to me on the last day of the trip that I have not been able to stop thinking about since. And that is what today's episode is about. Because I get into what happened on that trip, I want to tell you about these friendships because I think you need to understand who I got on the plane with and what this kind of friendship actually feels like. These are the kind of friends where there is zero judgment. And I don't mean that loosely. I mean the real, deep, nothing is off the table kind of zero judgment. The kind where you can say the things you have never said out loud to anyone. The thing you have been carrying around quietly. And it just lands safely. No weird energy. No shift in the vibe. No raised eyebrows. Just, I hear you, I got you. If you have that kind of friendship in your life, you know exactly what I mean right now. And if you don't, I want you to know that it exists and you deserve it. We dance at any sound we hear, literally any sound. Music comes on somewhere and we are already moving. We don't stop to look around first. We don't check if it's the right moment or if anyone's watching. We just go because that is who we are together. We have love and compassion for each other that honestly I cannot fully put into words. And words are kind of my whole thing. But this one defeats me. It is the kind of love that holds through everything without condition, without keeping score. It just holds. We talk about anything and everything. Nothing is too heavy, nothing is too strange, nothing is off limits. We go all the way there together every single time. And we laugh like crazy. The can't breathe, stomach hurting. Forget what started it kind of laughing, where we get to the point where you don't even know what you're laughing about anymore. And it doesn't matter because the laughing becomes the whole point. That is who I took to the Caribbean with me. And from the moment we landed, something in me just loosened. The air hit differently. The warmth, that color, the blue water I had only seen in pictures. And something in my body understood before my brain did that it was allowed to just be. That nobody needed anything from me right now. that I could just exist for myself fully. We swam in the ocean the way I had not swum since I was a kid. Not carefully, not self consciously, just completely in. Diving under waves, laughing so hard we swallowed water and did not care one bit because the water was warm and our people were right there, and nothing about that moment required any of us to be anything other than exactly who we are. We collected seashells like our lives genuinely depends on it. And I need you to understand, we were serious about those shells. Comparing them, trading them, hunting for the best one, pockets completely full, zero dignity, maximum joy. The version of me that think about how she looks did not show up at that beach. She stayed home. We went to a karaoke bar and we sang our voices completely out loud, committed, fully in it, zero regrets. And we ate everything, every dish, every local recommendation, every dessert. Yes to all of it, every single time. And here is what I kept noticing all week. I felt light. I felt free. I felt like myself and the full version, not the edited one. Not the one who's always managing something or being careful about how she come across. Just me. The whole thing, unapologetically. And I have to be honest with you, I had forgotten what that felt like. Not because my life is bad, my life is full and I'm grateful for it. But there's a real difference between a full life and a free one. And I had not felt that free in a very long time. So it is the last night of the trip. Me and my friends are sitting together, quiet. The particular kind of quiet that happens at the end of something really good. When you're trying to hold it just a little longer before it becomes a memory. And one of my friends looked at me and said quietly, like my friend's been sitting on it and decided it needed to come out. My friend said, "Don't let anyone dim your light." And my friend further elaborated, there are people in our lives who dim our light, and we don't need to be around those people. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Those words landed somewhere deep. Not because they were brand new, but because after a whole week of feeling completely, fully myself, after 5 days of being around people who made me more alive, not less, I felt the truth of them in my body in a way I had not before. And I knew I had to bring this to you. So let's talk about it. Because there are people in your life right now who are dimming you. And I think some of you already know exactly who I'm talking about. Maybe that sentence just made you a little uncomfortable because you do know and you do not want to look directly at it. Let's look at it together. Let's name some types because naming them is how you start to recognize them clearly in your own life. There is this subtle critic. Everything you do comes with a quiet opinion attached, never fully negative, just an, "Are you sure about this?" Just a raised eyebrow, just enough doubt dropped in, just often enough that you start second guessing yourself before you have even finished your own thought. They call it honesty. They say they are just looking out for you. But what it actually does is takes a little air out of your confidence every single time. You leave every conversation feeling slightly smaller, and you can't even fully explain it why. Then there is the comparer. You share good news, and somehow every single time it becomes about them or about what someone else is doing. Or there is a quiet but that lands right in the middle of your joy. and you start shrinking yourself around them without realizing it. You stop bringing them to the full version of your excitement because you already know it is not going to come back the way it went. There's the energy drainer. You arrive full, you leave empty every time. Every conversation is about their fear, their problems, their drama. You are a source in that relationship, not a partner, not a friend, a resource. And you have started dreading the calls even if you have not quite admitted that to yourself yet. And then there is the dimmer. And this is the sneakiest one because they don't do anything you can easily point to. But every time you're around them, you become a quieter, more careful, more edited version of yourself. You contain the laugh, you hold back the real opinion, you perform a smaller version of yourself because the full version never quite feels welcome in their presence. And here's the part that really gets me. You have done it for so long, you have started to mistake that careful, edited version for just who you are. It is not who you are. I know that because I spent a whole week in the Caribbean and that version of me did not show up once. I was the whole thing every single day, dancing at every sound I heard, laughing out loud, saying the real thing, fully myself, and coming home and feeling the contrast between that and how small I sometimes make myself in certain company. That contrast is impossible to ignore. Brene Brown says something about this that I keep coming back to. She says, fitting in is about assessing a situation and becoming who you need to be accepted. Belonging is the exact opposite. Belonging does not require you to change who you are. It requires you to be who you are. The wrong person have you fitting in. The right people let you belong. There's a whole world of difference between those two things. Now I want to talk about the guilt. Because some of you heard me say, I left my kids for a week and something happened in your chest. I felt it too. For years, that guilt was the whole reason the trip stayed in one day folder. Every time it came up, the voice would show up right along with it. Whole week away from your kids? Really? And here is what I want you to hear. I came home from that trip a better parent, more patient, more present, more myself, because I filled something up that had been running low for a long time without me fully admitting it. You can't show up fully for the people who need you when you are running on empty. You just can't. And choosing yourself for a week is not abandoning anyone. It is making sure you actually have something real left to give. The guilt lied to me. For years, it kept that trip in the folder and told me the other side of it would be bad. The other side of it was everything. So if you're sitting on a version of that trip right now, the thing that is entirely yours, that fills you up, that makes you feel like yourself, I want you to hear this. You're allowed to want that. You're allowed to choose it. And the people who love you will be better off because you did. Mel Robbins talks about 5-second rule, and we discussed it in our previous episode. The idea that when you have an instinct to do something that matters, something that scares you a little, something that feels big, you have about 5 seconds before your brain starts talking you out of it. 5 seconds before the excuse show up and the moment passes and the thing goes back in the folder. I had 5-second moment with the Caribbean trip for years. Almost booked it. Did not. Almost booked it again. Did not. Last week I finally counted to 5 and I pressed confirm. And it was everything I hoped it would be and more. So let's get practical. because I always want to give you something you can actually use. One, do your sunshine audit. Write on the people you spend the most time with. Be honest. Put a sun or a cloud next to each name. Sun lifts you up, cloud dims you. Just see it clearly. That list alone will tell you a lot about your life right now. Two, move the clouds out of the front row. The front row of your life, your time, your energy, your real self. That is prime real estate, my friend. Not everyone has earned a seat there, and it is okay to reassign. Three, water your sun people. The relationships that actually restore you need your investment too. Call them more. Plan the thing. Show up for them the way they show up for you. Don't let those relationships live in the one day folder either. Four, book the thing. Whatever is sitting in your one day folder. The trip, the dinner, the afternoon, that is entirely yours. Give it a real date this week, not one day, a real day. Five, collect your seashells without apology. Whatever makes you completely and unself consciously yourself. The thing you do wherever you forget to think about how you look doing it. Protect time for that. Not as a reward for finishing everything else, as something that matters on its own. 6. Dance at every sound you hear. As a practice and as a life philosophy, stop waiting for the right moment. Stop looking around for permission. The music is playing, just go. 7. Put the guilt down. It has been living in your head for free and it has not been earning its keep. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is how you make sure you have something real left to give to the people who need you. Let me close with this. I came home from the Caribbean with sandy shoes, a heart so full, I am still feeling it. A pocket of seashells I'm not even slightly embarrassed about, and a voice that needed a few days off from karaoke. And I came home with this. Don't let anyone dim your light. There are people in your life who will dim it if you let them. You know who they are. You feel it every time you leave them. And you get to choose how much access they have to you. Surround yourself with the people who makes you more yourself, who dance at every sound they hear right alongside you, who love you without condition and without keeping scores, who make the trip feel not just possible but necessary. Collect the seashells, dance at every sound you hear, book the thing that has been living in one day, and don't let anyone dim your light. Now, before I let you go, I want to ask you something, and I want you to really sit with this one. Who in your life makes you feel most like yourself? And when did you last tell them? Think about that. Think about the person who comes in mind when I say that. The one who makes you laugh like crazy. The one who loves you without conditions. The one who makes the full version of you feel welcome. When did you last actually tell that person what they mean to you? Drop it in the comments. Send them a message right after this, or just sit with it and let it remind you of how lucky you are to have them. Because those people, those are your people. Protect them, invest in them, and go book that trip. This is Mike Check. I'll see you next time, and thank you truly for being here. Ciao.